My name is James Wilson. My father was a mussel fisherman for a short period of time, and then his father fished before him too. I've fished in the Pacific, in the Irish Sea, in the North Sea, and now I'm farming mussels back in the Menai Straits. I've been lucky enough to have plenty of experiences in fishing. In my life, I've worked off the shelf in the Pacific, and I've worked in the North Sea, and I worked in the Irish Sea, and I've done this, and I've worked on small boats. It's a tough life. You're away from home for a long time. You work long hours. They're in challenging conditions. You're isolated. You've got to be able to deal with an almost limitless number of situations that might occur. Highly risky job, but there's something about fishing. It's it goes back to the sort of primeval us. It's one of the last hunter-gathering occupations that people undertake, certainly in the Western world. It's a tough life, but it's a sort of seductive life too. I think that the biggest change over the past 10 years has been this focus on sustainability and a wider environmental awareness of the impact of the activity on not just the fish stocks, but on the environment that we work within. Fishermen are increasingly aware about the issues associated with sustainability, and largely we have to ensure that our operations are undertaken in a sustainable manner. Because we've been certified as sustainable through Marine Stewardship Council, we are able to capitalise on the general motivation that people have to ensure that the food that they eat from the marine environment is produced in a sustainable way. The way the industry used to operate is that you'd have a sort of a traditional lineage. You'd have fathers teaching their sons, who would then teach their sons, and so on. And people would want to come fishing. Now, because of its arduous nature, because fathers sometimes, instead of encouraging their children to participate in the fishery, they kind of discourage them because it is such a tough life, such a thankless task. But I really think there's great potential for this industry in the future. We're in enhanced fishery, so we seed the areas that we use to produce the mussels that we sell on an annual basis. Now, we went down the MSC route because for two reasons. One was the market driver. The Dutch Retail Consortium Association said that it was only going to source its fish products from MSC certified fisheries by 2010, so that was a big driver. And the second driver for us was that whilst we always believed we were inherently sustainable, we'd done a lot of work with local research institutions, the universities. This was a way that allowed us to legitimise that sustainability. Sustainability seems to be a big issue for the consumer these days, and rightfully so. I mean, we need to make sure that we can carry on producing food from the sea without adversely affecting the potential that the sea has for producing food in the future. The ability to be able to refer to a label like MSC and say, well, we've been judged actually to be having an acceptable impact on the environment is of great value. Sustainability is important to us as a sort of social objective. I think it's the right objective to have, and also it allows us to ensure that we always have access to a market which is increasingly concerned about ensuring that the products it places in front of the consumers are sustainably sourced.